Hey, what's going on? It's Rick here, and you're looking at the Acase Superleggera Pro. This is for the iPad mini. It is a two-part case, meaning it has an external polycarbonate shell and an internal silicone shell or material. Now, normally you'd pull this interior out, put your mini in, and then pop it back into place. I'm not going to do that here, although I will show you that this silicone just kind of pulls away if you wanted to attempt that. The reason why I'm not doing that is I have spent a great deal of time trying to put the silicone on first and then pop the shell on afterwards, which is what you normally do with this style of case. But it just doesn't work with this one. For some reason, the silicone keeps falling off and it doesn't really work. So here's what I advise. If you get this case, leave it all in one piece like this. Take your mini, button side first, and you're going to lay it into place as if this was just a one-piece case. And don't worry about splitting it into two. Now, I'm not sure why they made it a two-part case if it is so difficult to actually use it in that kind of capability, but nonetheless, that's how it is. And so you can see once it is all into place, we're good to go. And so it's got a couple of built-in protectors here. I'll show you those in a moment. Let me unlock my screen and show you that you get a very minor level of lay on the table here. It's nothing too great. And so what you're going to notice is this case doesn't give the option to use a smart cover with it. So it's kind of, you see what you get here. And if you're worried about screen protection, you're going to want to slap on a screen protector here to prevent any mishaps or issues. Now on the back side, and let me turn the screen off real quick here. So what it's going to look like, there's your polycarbonate shell. I'll come back to the stand here in a moment. You can see the Acase logo. There's your camera cutout, all fine and good. Along the side, this is what it's going to look like. You do have elements of the silicone that protrude out, give you good grippy areas. Your volume buttons are covered. Your rotation lock or your silent switch is pretty easy to get to. It's not too difficult. Up along the top, your power button or your sleep awake is enclosed, and there's your mic, and that's all fine and good. Down along the bottom here, you can see your speakers and what that's going to look like. No problems there. You can see the integrated lightning connector here. So that's really going to limit what you can use from a docking perspective with this. And then up along the top again, let me show you the headphone jack, because that's kind of integrated here too as well. And if you've got a real oversized jack, it may prove challenging to fit in there. Now the stand, let's come back to that. This can be a bit tricky to open sometimes, but you can see there is a metal piece here. You might hear that. It's metal, and you can use this in a couple of different stand modes. One just like that. And let me go ahead and unlock my device here. You can use one stand just like that. I suppose you could stand it up if you really wanted to. Well, maybe not. I was going to say you stand it up like this, but you really can't do that. So here's another stand that you get. And then finally, you can, of course, get your typing stands. And you can see how this slides to lock into place. And you get a typing angle just like that. So you do get a couple of different viewing angles here with this stand. You can be kind of creative with it, and it works pretty well. It can be a bit stiff to open at times, and I'm hoping that that breaks in over time and makes it a little bit easier to open. We'll see about the durability. It's encouraging that they've got a metal piece in there, but the rest of this is plastic, so we'll see how it holds up over time. And then the removal of this case, it's not too difficult. Oh, I will also call out the buttons are very tactile on this particular case. They are silicone again, so I would expect them to be very tactile and very responsive. They're not hard to press. You still get that clicky feel, and it works really well. But the removal of this case is pretty easy. You're going to basically want to pull away on an edge, pull away on another edge, make sure you undo those areas here. And then just basically pull it out of the case itself. Go slow, that is always the recommendation, especially if you've got the black slate model of this. Usually you don't want to work from the button side, but because this case is using silicone, you should be okay. Heard a bit of a scratch there as the plastic kind of scratched up against the edges. But as you can see, there's no scratches here or anything like that. It's the Acase Superleggera Pro. It's for the iPad mini, and I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. Not a bad case. Protection-wise, not much in the way of screen protection, and you're limited on what you can do as far as protecting your screen with this case. Drop protection should be moderate, but otherwise it's a little bit difficult to install this case, not so much to remove it. Again, serves its purpose well with the stands that are provided. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. If you guys have questions, comments, or feedback, as always, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next time. Take care, everybody, and have fun.